Alright, let's talk about something that's been buzzing in the digital currency world. A little project called Pi Network. Now, if you haven't heard of it, imagine a world where earning cryptocurrency is as easy as tapping a button on your phone. No complicated mining rigs, no needing a PhD in computer science just to understand the white paper. They aimed to make cryptocurrency accessible to everyday people. The core idea was wonderfully simple. Download an app, tap a lightning bolt icon once a day, and watch your Pi balance grow. For years, millions of people, or pioneers, have been diligently tapping away, accumulating Pi coins with the hope that one day these digital tokens would hold real-world value. The project pitched itself as a long-term endeavor, building a secure and robust ecosystem before unleashing its currency onto the wider market. But, and there's always a but, the journey hasn't been entirely smooth. When people start getting antsy about a new cryptocurrency's value, defenders often pull out the Bitcoin card. Remember Bitcoin? They'll say, it started at practically nothing, just 5 cents a coin. And yes, that's true. Bitcoin had a very humble beginning before it went on its roller coaster ride to the moon and occasionally back down to earth. So when Pi's value seemed low or volatile, this comparison was a comforting blanket for many pioneers. The problem with this comparison, however, is that the landscape is vastly different now. Bitcoin was a trailblazer in a near-empty field. Pi Network, on the other hand, launched into a world teeming with thousands of cryptocurrencies. For years, Pi users tapped their phones, their main reward being the increasing number on their app's screen and the promise of future value. This prolonged period of mining without a tangible, tradable asset naturally led to a buildup of immense anticipation for any news. The community, after years of tapping and waiting, was desperate for concrete news, for a sign that their faith had not been misplaced. So the big day arrived, May 16, 2025. Nicolas Kokalis, the man, the myth, the seldom-seen co-founder, stepped onto the stage at the CoinDesk Consensus event in Toronto. You can imagine the scene: Pi pioneers around the world, glued to their screens, hoping for fireworks, for a roadmap paved with gold. Kokalis was part of a panel discussing AI plus blockchain infra to unleash mainstream adoption. And what profound, earth-shattering insights did he deliver about Pi's imminent glorious future? Well, he said, and I quote, "I'm not here to talk about technology today. I'm here to talk about trust. Together we are building not just a cryptocurrency, but a global ecosystem." He went on to emphasize that this whole Pi Network adventure is about building trust, which is, admittedly, a crucial ingredient for any financial system, traditional or crypto. He also spent a good deal of time highlighting the importance of Know Your Customer, or KYC procedures. Kokalis stressed that KYC is absolutely essential for the success of any blockchain project, and acknowledged that Pi Network isn't an open network yet, because they are focusing on doing so correctly. The message of "trust us, we're building something amazing," slowly and carefully might have landed better if it wasn't accompanied by the sound of crashing coin values in the background. The immediate aftermath of Dr. Kokalis's much-anticipated appearance was, to put it mildly, not what the Pi faithful had hoped for. Instead of a surge in confidence and coin value, the opposite happened. Many in the Pi community took to social media to express their disappointment, feeling that Kokalis hadn't addressed their most pressing concerns. They wanted to hear about the token's value, about concrete steps to expand the ecosystem in a way that would make their Pi coins useful. The impact on Pi coin's price was brutal and swift. On May 15, 2025, the day before his speech, Pi's price had already taken a nosedive, plunging over 50%. This initial drop was reportedly triggered by a project announcement that revealed plans for a new venture fund and foundation. Then came Kokalis's speech on May 16. Following his appearance, the Pi coin price tumbled a further 25%. The focus on trust in his speech, while perhaps well-intentioned, clearly failed to translate into market confidence. So, who are the masterminds behind this global mobile mining phenomenon that is Pi Network? The project was co-founded back in 2019 by a trio of individuals from Stanford University. Leading the charge, at least in terms of technology, is Dr. Nicolas Kokalis, who holds the title of Head of Technology. He's the one with the Stanford PhD that gets mentioned a lot, presumably to lend an air of academic rigor and gravitas to the whole enterprise. Then there's Cheng Diaofan, another Stanford PhD who leads product development. Her role is crucial in shaping the user experience and the actual applications within the PI ecosystem. The original founding team also included Vincent McPhillip, who was reportedly in charge of community engagement. McPhillip left the project way back in February 2021. The departure of a key figure responsible for the community aspect of a community-driven project does raise an eyebrow or two. This preference for operating largely behind the scenes creates a strange paradox. Pi Network boasts millions of users, a vast global community, yet its leadership is almost enigmatic. The journey of Pi Network has been, to put it mildly, a masterclass in testing the patience of its users. The project was launched in 2019 with the promise of easy mobile mining, and it took nearly 6 long years for its mainnet to launch in a state that allowed users to transfer Pi to exchanges for trading. Despite finally reaching this mainnet phase and claiming to be in an open network phase, many industry observers and users feel that Pi Network is still somewhat incomplete. Key features that are standard in many established blockchain ecosystems, such as comprehensive smart contract support and fully open-source code, are reportedly still lacking or not fully implemented. The delays and the perceived incompleteness have naturally fueled a fair share of drama and discontent within the community and among crypto commentators. Skeptics have long questioned the project's viability, its true utility, and the ultimate value of the Pi coins so diligently mined. The reaction from the Pi community to Kokalis's appearance and the recent project updates has been decidedly mixed, leaning heavily towards disappointment for a vocal segment. So where does Pi Network stand now? In mid-2025, after all the tapping, the waiting, the rare appearances, and the unfortunate coin tumbles. The project has rolled out some updates recently, like domain name auctions and a feature called PiFest, which aims to facilitate commerce using PI. There are also a few minor applications popping up. These are steps undeniably towards building that promised ecosystem. But the big question for many users is whether these steps are significant enough and happening quickly enough to justify their continued faith and, more importantly, to give their accumulated Pi coins real tangible value and utility in the wider world. The dedication of the Pi community, especially in active markets like Vietnam, remains a remarkable phenomenon. Millions of people continue to engage with the app, participate in discussions, and hold on to the hope that Pi will eventually fulfill its grand promises. However, this loyalty is being severely tested. The recent price drops and the perceived lack of concrete progress on core functionalities have undeniably shaken confidence. The core conundrum for the Pi community is whether Pi Network is a genuinely revolutionary endeavor that is simply taking its time to build a robust and secure platform. Ultimately, the future of Pi Network hinges on its ability to deliver on its long-standing promises.